Hey everybody, welcome to the next phase of Resurrecting the TiViBox. So in the previous video I was able to get the existing Windows 7 drive to actually boot up off this motherboard. Just had to go in and reconfigure some things, of course. So we'll go ahead and do a clean install of Windows 10 1803. I'm not going to do 1809 just yet because I think they're still having to work out some problems in that version of Windows 10, so anyways, pop this USB drive into the machine and go ahead and get started with this. In case some people wonder why I choose to manually create a new partition, it's just that way I know exactly what's going on with it. For example, if for any reason it would fail to create the partition, I'd rather know it right then and there versus it failing somewhere in the Windows 10 install. It's kind of a personal preference, I think, because when you do have a clean drive, you can just click next, and it will automatically start a new partition and whatnot. But anyways, now it's copying files off the flash drive. Of course, this will likely be the longest part of the whole process. And of course, everything is just moving right along now. And machine is now restarting. Let the fun games begin. Because we just know how wonderful the Windows 10 out-of-box experience is. especially when the computer already has all the needed drivers installed and set up. So we don't have all the drivers apparently. It's going in limited mode, the nice mode as I call it. No Cortana bullcrap. Or maybe it's because I don't have a audio device. I don't know. Sometimes you get the full. Oh yeah, let's go and disconnect our Ethernet cable. And that's a big screw you to them, because we are not setting up with a Microsoft account. No, Cortana, don't get so excited, because we're not using you. And I don't have time for that either. Let's get logged in. I need to see the desktop. Much better. Go ahead and hide that. Hide this. Turn off. Nags. Remove that. You know the drill. It's next to circular saw. Go ahead and remind Windows 10 that we're not in Washington State or California. Okay, we need to go ahead and plug in the Ethernet cable so that way it can activate. Because we are actually in Eastern time. See what's going on with our devices. Yeah, there's a few unknowns there, also including the display driver. So it's going to have to go online and fetch this stuff. Let's go ahead and try to manually. It's already doing it. So we should get our display driver and have the proper resolution here. Much better. ATI Radeon 3000 graphics. Not very impressive, but I think it should do okay just for what we're using this for. Should be able to play back 1080p video just fine. So yeah, it's installing all the goodies and stuff like that. Yeah, we don't need that either. So there'll be lots of stuff to do here, including getting rid of that and among other things. Let's go ahead and rename the machine. Actually, whoops, I need to do a HTPC-PC. I think that's what I used to name it. Let's go and restart. Again, we do have a 64 gigabyte MLC solid state drive in there, but we also have a pretty basic Athlon 2 dual core. So may not be the exact snappiest out there, but does the job. So the next thing we'll do is get Windows Media Center loaded in. And if you've been watching my videos for at least a couple of years now, you may know that I did a Windows 10 Media Center experiment back in 2016, I think it was. That was back when we were using the Seat Infinity TV for digital cable and stuff like that, and there were some issues there. Things have improved since then. Do a few things here. Apply some fixes to Windows 10 here. Starting with that. Had that dang OneDrive option, and also let's see, also disable UAC when we get a chance. I'll go ahead and put Photo Viewer back in. Turn that off. Oops. Go ahead and run this. I think that is the one. Can't remember for certain. It says it's modified on January 1st, 2018. Okay, so here's the file that we need. It's the folder, actually. We have to actually copy this to the local machine, otherwise it will not run properly. So what we do, we first have to run this as administrator, and if we end up with a command prompt window that's just where it has a blank command line, then the process was successful. Now we'll right click and choose Run as Administrator on the Install command. Now I'm just going to let you guys know that if you prefer to have the full-fledged Windows Media Center with all the goodies, you're still better off with Windows 7. The Windows 10 Media Center, you will be lacking some things. Some features don't work exactly properly. Now, it says it's installing a DVD player app. That makes me wonder if it's installing the codec to play a DVD. I may have to try this later on. Maybe in this video or another video. Try to see if this thing will play a DVD. So you just press a key to exit, and now in Windows Accessories, there is a Windows Media Center shortcut. And we'll just go with Express setup. So I'll show you what I was talking about there. Let's see here. For example, in Extras, there's nothing there. Same goes for, well, actually, no. There's a few things in Extras Gallery, but some of the stuff may be obsolete. Interesting, we do have the Digital Cable Advisor. But, as I have mentioned previously in other videos, since Spectrum took over Time Warner Cable and ruined them, I don't plan on having a cable subscription anytime soon. So that's the deal there. And there's another thing I want to show you. In Settings, General, Start Windows Behavior. You may notice how you don't have the Start Windows Media Center with Windows and the Keep Windows Media Center on top. Those options have have been taken out, but you can actually start Windows Media Center with Windows. What you have to do there is, we're going to get out Media Center. Not sure if we can access a startup folder in this. Okay, we actually have to have the classic shell start menu for that. So I'm going to fetch that, get that installed. I only want the classic start menu and the updater. Go ahead and set up everything. I noticed in Windows 10, 18, 03 and later, there is actually, they took out the Games Explorer. It's not there anymore, which is unfortunate. Because you can actually install the Windows 7 games and it will, and they integrate with the Games Explorer just fine. And we'll select the Windows 8 style skin. And there's our start menu. And there's the startup folder. What you have to do is open this folder and place the shortcut to Windows Media Center in here. I'll do that later on, because right now I'd prefer it not launch with Windows because there's still more stuff I need to set up. So we'll need to install a few more different things. Let's go ahead and apply my group policy to tell Windows Update who's boss, and also kindly ask it not to nag me all the time about you need updates. Don't need that crap. I'll install updates when I want to. Okay, so I've gone ahead and copied in some files off TiViBox number 3. I got this YouTube shortcut here in this MCE remote. This here is a config file. It's a little text document that has all this coding, and I'll explain what that is in just a moment. First of all, go ahead and pin this to the start menu. Classic shell, of course. Now what this does is it launches the YouTube on TV web app in Google Chrome, but not only that, but also in kiosk mode. And the way you do this is you take your regular Google Chrome shortcut, make a copy of it, go into Properties, and let's see, Start In should not change, I don't think. No, it doesn't change. But what you do is on the target, you leave this in here like it is, add a space, put in the web address www.youtube.com/TV space -kiosk, and this will launch Chrome in kiosk mode. I'll go ahead and demonstrate it. And we need to go in and set all the defaults, at least for now. So now we have the YouTube on TV app, which is optimized for widescreen, as you can tell. We had this big box here and down here, but that's okay. So you're wondering, okay, like how do you get out of this? Well, that's because we're in kiosk mode. We actually have to do Alt F4 to get out. So you wonder, okay, Nick, well, how you gonna close that from this? Well, what we have to do, and also that brings up another thing. The Windows 10 and Windows 10 Media Center, the green button, at least on the other HTPC, does not function. It will not launch Media Center. So let's go and talk about setting up the remote control. Okay, so here is a Windows Media Center remote control USB receiver, infrared receiver. These are pretty common, or at least they were back in the Windows Media Center days. I'm sure you can still order these things online. On the back it has 2 infrared port jacks. It does have a built-in infrared receiver, but it has IR1 and IR2 also on the back, so that way you could hook a sensor in a place where your remote could easily see it, and also so that you could place a different infrared LED in front of your set-top box if you want to change the channels and stuff like that. But they're pretty universal as far as compatibility goes. And I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but these Media Center remotes, they come in different. They come in different forms. Different manufacturers make them just a slight bit different, but a lot of the essential buttons are practically the same. We're going to be focusing on this one today, which is actually a Roswell. Got off a Newegg years ago. So let me just see if I can launch Media Center. Nothing happens. See, that's what I think I mentioned. So we have to go in and remap the remote control, and also we need to map things out so that way we can easily close out Media Center, start up the YouTube app, restart the computer, and things like that. So go ahead and launch Advanced MC Remote Mapper. This was written by Cody, I think, and it offers the functionality of being able to change practically all the mapping of all these different buttons on remote control. The thing is when it comes to your remote control, some different vendors, for example, have different things. For example, as you can see here for music library, you see Ace Rock, Harmony, or DVD Angle, MediaGate MG-IR02BK. So there are some variations in here, but the ones in particular that we're going to be focusing on are these bottom 4 buttons. Now you may be thinking, it'd be those 4 right there, but actually no, it's not. It's a little different than that. So if you look carefully, you can see above the buttons we have zoom, angle, audio, and subtitle. So you see there's DVD Angle, which is the green button. There's Control-Alt-Delete, and what that does, it just brings up the menu where you can log out and do stuff like that. DVD Audio, which is the yellow button. So you have Control and Escape selected, so it actually brings up the Windows Start menu. I can't actually just click the Windows option by itself. It won't let me do that. So I had to do Control Escape, which is the alternative option for bringing up the Start menu. For example, on an old keyboard that doesn't have the Windows key, that will work. However, shortcuts like Windows key L, Windows key R don't actually run, by the way. But also the subtitle, which is the blue button, I have Windows Tab selected, so I'm going to go ahead and apply to registry. So we'll go ahead and restart the computer. Why not? And we'll see if our mapping has changed. I'm sorry if I didn't explain that really clearly. I'm not the most familiar with this program. I mean, I stumbled through it the first time I set it up, which luckily I was able to load in my configuration. So I'm going to have to do it manually for this seating remote. This came with a seating extender that's still in the box, but the remote control functions as a media center remote. So, matter of fact, the receiver that came off the seating extender is actually plugged into the TiViBox 3. Interesting to know. Okay, so let's try this. Yellow should be... Yep, there we are. Start menu. I'm going to go up and select YouTube. So there's going to be a few more different things I got to do to this before we be ready to go into the living room, but we're not far from that actually. So as you see, we're navigating through the YouTube interface, and I can actually, let me go and demonstrate a few things. This is Control Delete, cancel. There's the start menu. Win tab. So, and of course, we can close it. Go and make some personalization changes here. I'm going to do exactly what I did with the other one. Use this background for now. And kind of saw a few different things. I'm going to do it off camera. Okay, I went and set up TeamViewer on this thing so that way I can do remote access and stuff like that. So, that leaves us with just like one more thing to do. I'm going to go ahead and install the updated fonts that I have for Windows Media Center. What these are the newer, this is the newer Seago UI that you have in Windows 8 and Windows 10. See, when Windows Media Center was put into Windows 8 and of course unofficial Windows 10, it still has the Windows 7 style Seago, which I don't really care much for. I don't care for having the crosses on top of the I, and the numbers in the Windows 7 Seago, they're just awful. The 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8 all receive pretty major updates compared to what they were. So what we gotta do is we don't have to actually install these to the system. You don't actually install. You actually have to paste them into the directory where the Windows Media Center files are at, which I need to go ahead and install. Take ownership. This is a registry that you can find on. This is a registry key you can find online that allows you to easily take ownership of stuff. So C, Windows, eHome, which, yeah, funny note, this folder is already in Windows 10, even if you don't have Media Center installed. So we're in eHome. I'm going to go back to where we were previously. So Seg MCR should be in here. Yep, there's the 3 fonts. We need to go ahead and take ownership of those 3. And we can go and do a copy again. Let's make sure it's on the clipboard. And we'll just paste them in there. And all done. Let's go ahead and launch Media Center. which, as I mentioned, you can't do from you can't press the green button from outside of Media Center. You can't. The green button does, in fact, work inside of Media Center. It's just not outside of Media Center, and I can't seem to map it to work, which is unfortunate. But we're gonna let it launch. And if we look carefully, once it shows the time, as you can see, we have the newer Seago UI in Media Center. What's nice about Media Center is the power options still work in Windows 10. You can still go in here and restart the computer and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and close out of this. So you're wondering, all these shortcuts on the desktop. I do actually like to hide them when in the case of a home theater PC. I don't really care to have shortcuts on my desktop when I'm looking at my TV, so you can actually hide those. And if, in case you're wondering, if you sit down at your computer and you have a crazy brother or a crazy sister or a crazy friend, and you all of a sudden see all your icons missing from your desktop, this is probably what they did. They hide them. And if you want to show that your desktop icons, you just go back and tick that again, and there they are. So hopefully you learned a little something new today. So anyways, it is officially time that we set this thing in front of the TV. We're going to let it shut down, and we'll go ahead and place this in the entertainment center. Okay, everybody, it's time for an update on this machine. There it is down in the entertainment center, run just fine, dandy. I did, however, switch over to the NVIDIA GeForce 210 graphics card because the integrated graphics just weren't strong enough to run full HD without choppiness and things like that. I dropped the video card in, installed the drivers for it, and works as perfectly as can be. I probably should have done that to begin with because the integrated graphics, I had a good bit of a hassle getting everything working as far as drivers goes. I had to fight Windows 10. Windows 10 kept installing the latest Microsoft driver off of Windows Update when it wasn't working properly. I wasn't able to scale my display properly to where all four corners of the picture reached the edges of the TV, and also my HDMI audio was non-functional. It didn't want to work. I did eventually get things to work after what I did is I think what I had to do was I had to uninstall the device driver and check delete driver software and use an old driver from AMD's website. The latest they had was like from several years ago. Get that installed, and it finally worked. But once it was installed, I went to play some YouTube videos, and I noticed that playback was not exactly smooth. There wasn't any like lag in the audio. It was just the video. You would see drop frames and things like that. So with the NVIDIA card in, it works flawlessly. Very well pleased with this thing. It's pretty neat. So anyways, I think that sums it up for now. So the old TiViBox is back in service now as sort of a YouTube player, and also Windows Media Center. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Well guys, that's it for this one. But it doesn't have to be. There's plenty more videos on the channel to check out. Also, if you liked the video, please click the like button. And if you absolutely hated it, there is the alternative button as well. But yeah, please subscribe to the channel. I definitely appreciate it. And remember to click the bell so that we get notified of all updates. Also, if you're interested in things aside from computers and technology, check out my second channel. It's CubeComp MTDX. Over there you'll find videos about weather, elevators, bicycling, and pretty much whatever else I figure out to upload. So yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you for your support.